if you understand PEMF and red light, both of what these therapies do in different ways, is to help the cells detoxify themselves. And so that's the really cool aspect of it. And so what you're doing is you're supporting the body, the cells, with what they need, and then they can complete that cycle. So then the inflammation goes down because the actual problem is getting aided and people are having recovery at a cellular level.
Good afternoon, everyone. Jonathan Otto joins me again, and you've heard the term medbeds. Is it real? Is it a combination? But what is this that we're hearing about? Hearing about vibration, frequency, light medicines all over the place happening, and there's a lot of conjecture and swirl. So we're going to try to untangle the yarn of, shall we say, folklore is the best term I'm going to use. So, Jonathan, thank you for joining me. My PEMFmat.com, that's MyPEMFmat.com, and also myredlight.com. So, first, I want to hear your take on medbeds. Is it real?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that this is a really good one for open AI. And so what I've found when I push this into OpenAI, because it's aggregating the internet, finding everything and looking at what is red light and PEMF, pulsed electromagnetic field therapy. What is it? What does it do, and how does that resemble what people have been looking forward to for those that have followed the concept of a medbed? And when you push this, you'll find that it is mind-blowing. So I'm going to actually just even show this. I'm going to push ChatGPT a little here. All right, so check out what I'm asking it. All right, so here I pushed it to say, show me how PEMF and red light therapy are a fulfillment of medbed tech when it comes to rapid healing. PEMF and red light therapy are often considered complementary to advanced medical bed technology because they promote rapid healing by stimulating cellular function and regeneration. All right, so then it shows the breakdown, how they fulfill the promise of medbed tech. Both PEMF and red light therapy align with the goal of medical beds that provide rapid, effective healing. So remember, this is not like a company marketing something and saying, wow, this is rapid, effective healing. This is just saying, okay, all the studies on the internet, the aggregate of that, including the bad things that might exist out there against those technologies, then it's saying, like, this actually fulfills the goal of medical beds to provide rapid healing. They're non-invasive, safe. These address the root of this root cellular mechanisms, accelerating tissue repair and regeneration that traditional methods may take longer to achieve. When combined with other advanced technologies in medbeds, PEMF and red light therapy can significantly reduce recovery times and improve overall healing outcomes. And I can show you some examples of that. So here's an example here. Okay, add into this table the length of time, include autoimmune pain. Okay, so I'm going to see what that says. But like, here's a table. This is PEMF, pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, and then red light therapy. And here's the condition: wounds and skin injuries, enhances blood flow, reduces inflammation, stimulates cellular repair. Red light stimulates collagen production, accelerates tissue regeneration. Bone fractures, increases calcium flow, stimulates osteoblast activity. I'm going to give you this one. Look at this one. This is same thing. Now it's giving you the time period. So wounds and skin injuries, 1 to 4 weeks, depending on severity. Bone fractures, 2 to 8 weeks on simple fractures. Arthritis and joint pain, 1 to 3 weeks for symptom relief. Muscle injuries and strains, 1 to 3 weeks. Neurological conditions.
So let me ask you a question, Jonathan. I see dermal rejuvenation right there, and I was taking a look. So the depth of the dermis, like if you're talking about falling down on a bicycle, motorcycle, and getting that kind of road rash, or are you talking about burns and what's the depth going? I'm not talking a 3rd-degree burn where your skin chars off, but something where you burn yourself, making tea and you get, it's kind of first.
Oh yeah,
you're super red, kind of ouch burn. I mean, what are we looking at here? And the dermal rejuvenation.
It ranges. I mean, and there are some amazing studies on various types of burns, and over time, in general, it is possible to completely recover any type of injury, because the body's going to naturally do that. And you'll see these types of things in especially axolotls and salamanders. They can regenerate entire limbs, and so for us to regenerate our skin is not really that big a deal in a way. And just over time, with the right ingredients, in this case light and PEMF, yeah, you can see these things turn around, which is amazing. And so then, David, you look at here, wounds and skin injuries, bone fractures. So you see the time period, 1 to 3 weeks for arthritis and joint pain, muscle pain and strains, 1 to 3 weeks, neurological conditions. And notice how they're both working through 2 different pathways. It's not the same thing. And it replicates nature. So if you lie down on the ground or you stand on the ground, and if you had minimal clothing or no clothing, you would be getting your body bathed in light, various types of light, including red light, and you would be getting the electrons of the earth pulsating either through your feet or the back part of your body, and that would be profound for healing of all kinds. And what you're doing with a red light therapy device and a PEMF mat is you're replicating nature, but you're pushing that to the highest limits. So there's the neurological conditions there: chronic pain, 1 to 4 weeks, dermal rejuvenation, autoimmune disorders, 2 to 12 weeks. And now for people that are trying to work out what to do when it comes to understanding the adjunct, either that you use with red light therapy or you use as another therapy. By the way, and I will share with you guys a way that you can get red light therapy and PEMF and far infrared therapy all in a single device and for the whole body, and something that is laughable in terms of what the cost is, considering those types of things are typically around the $10,000 range. And I'll show you how you get it for about 1/10 of that, which is amazing. But here you see PEMF for chronic pain. And this was a study done in 2020. 70% of the participants had a significant reduction in pain. And these studies aren't perfect. They often are very clinical, which means that people often don't even get enough of the treatment. If people have a red light or a PEMF device in their home, you can do it before you go to bed to get a deeper sleep. Then everything improves. But most of these studies, the clinics aren't open at 9 p.m. at night when people are about to go to bed. All kinds of parameters in the studies that are better supported with an at-home product. And here's the mechanism.
Jonathan, can I stop you for a second? Now, if we could, split these apart, these technologies for a second. Pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, specifically, how does it operate? I mean, split apart completely from how red light operates in the near infrared ranges. So you got these two, near Tesla technology, or I would say they're actually Tesla technologies, refound and brought into our modern era. And I'm just curious how, for the body, it's different if you were to use it as a standalone versus if you're using it in conjunction with red light.
To my knowledge, I don't even know of any studies where they combine them, which is great because it shows that they're inherently successful therapies on their own. And so this is the way that PEMF works. And I just push that into ChatGPT, and this gives a good answer, and I can improve the answer as well by sharing more, but I'm just showing you what's available. So it's delivering pulse electromagnetic signals to the body that influence cellular functions. So it works with cell membrane stimulation, stimulating cell membranes, improving their permeability, enhancing the exchange of ions and nutrients across cell membranes, which is essential for cell health and function. Increased ATP production, stimulates mitochondria within cells, boosting levels of ATP. But it's not through light. It's through the pulsed frequencies that cause the mitochondria to produce ATP. So higher ATP levels support cellular repair and regeneration, improve blood circulation. Electromagnetic fields promote vasodilation, increasing blood flow to tissues. Better circulation delivers more oxygen and nutrients while removing waste products efficiently. Reduction of inflammation. PEMF helps to modulate inflammatory responses, decreasing swelling and pain by influencing immune cell behavior and inflammatory cytokines, and enhanced cellular repair. The combined effects of increasing energy production, circulation, and membrane permeability accelerate cellular repair, tissue regeneration, overall healing. Regulation of nerve function. PEMF can modulate nerve signals, reduce pain, and restore nerve function in affected areas. So they're the key mechanisms at play here, and I can show you how that works in real life here in case studies that exist that show how this therapy is being harnessed. So here you'll see, here's a study on chronic pain and anxiety. This was 12 sessions, only twice a week, 20 minutes. So not very much. less anxiety, less pain, improved mood, better sleep, more energy, better mental clarity. Impressive, right?
Sounds like today's modern world in a nutshell. Like you're fighting against all of these, responses that are outside pushed in on top of us. And if there's any way to mitigate that or lessen the effects, then it's going to make our lives greatly improved. If you get more energy and you're not as mentally fogged out, I mean, geez, just that alone would improve your life just orders of magnitude if you could reduce the brain fog, let alone get better sleep, which is also that flywheel into that, better sleep or, better body function, more mental clarity, and you get into the, but if you can, yeah, it sounds like it's on something here. You got the flywheel again.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it, man. And yeah, here's a great finding here, David, where you've got the fact that PEMF is actively altering gene expression and protein signaling within inflammatory cells, leading to reduced oxidative stress and faster healing. And so that's another example of these mechanisms as the clinical finding there. And this was 2 hours after PEMF exposure for cellular inflammation, which is showing that it's getting to the root of how cells heal. So key protective genes were significantly upregulated, which helped neutralize oxidative stress, increased expression of enzymes that produce lipid mediators, fueling inflammation resolution. PEMF treatment altered cytokine mRNA levels, suggesting a shift towards anti-inflammatory signaling. So that
Now, can you translate that into English for us?
Well, yeah, cool. So,
makes your body feel better.
Yeah, it's promoting cellular repair and cellular resolution, which is like completing the cycle of inflammation. So the inflammation is how the body's trying to self-heal. People think that inflammation is the problem. It's definitely not the problem. It's actually the solution. But that solution that the body is mounting isn't supported enough. So then you stay in a constant state of inflammation. So what's happening today is people are sick because they're constantly trying to heal. The body's always going to try to heal you, but it doesn't have enough to complete the healing. So what you feel is pain, and pain is part of the healing process, but you're constantly in that painful state. And so what you're doing is you're supporting the body, the cells, with what they need, and then they can complete that cycle. So then the inflammation goes down because the actual problem is getting aided and people are having recovery at a cellular level. And then that's kind of a key aspect there of why it's working for inflammation, because there's two different reasons that something like red light or PEMF will work against inflammation, because it's dealing with the inflammation, which becomes a problem by quieting it down and helping it to be more directed, targeted, more effective in its healing potential, and then less of a problem. And then it's getting to the root of what's driving that problem in the first place, which is often either a heavy metal or a group of heavy metals, some kind of toxic bacteria. The information showing us that here's the problems, and here are the drivers of chronic problems in the body, and now let's get to therapies that help remove these. And so if you understand PEMF and red light, both of what these therapies do in different ways, is to help the cells detoxify themselves. And so that's a really cool aspect of it.
Yeah, and if I might just interject here while you're doing that, I looked up a Nikola Tesla quote because he's one of my favorite persons in history.
Oh, nice.
If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, end quote. So you have two of those sitting right here. Well, they actually encapsulate all, because the energy is translated in different field forms, depending on if it's light or if it's, electromagnetism is the only way that things can actually be working. You can't have any things without the dual field on it, so if you're looking in terms of this, so think about, all three of these are encapsulated in one. So if you got one of the brightest minds on the planet in the last 120 years with some of the greatest inventions to give us free power and electrogravitics and weightless technologies, etc., then this encapsulates all of those. I mean, this is, I truly believe, what is the closest to a med bed that I think we're getting to, especially based on, the parameters of how to define it.
You got it. And this is a good example here. So you've got PEMF and autoimmune conditions. And so you can see the functions here. And here's a study on fibromyalgia. This is 21 women over 8 weeks. And there's a fake placebo group. Those who had PEMF reported much bigger improvements in pain and symptoms compared to the placebo group. They had overall less pain and fewer severe symptoms and better daily functioning. and then the quality of life
Hey, Jonathan,
scores
can you slide
improved.
back one slide and go back to the autoimmune disorders right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. Because as I walk around more and more, I see more people with scarlet red on their faces than I've ever seen in my entire life, just out in the general public. Now, is it aware that I'm looking for it? But I mean, it is everywhere now, much, much more than I had ever seen. Like, I was aware of it before. I'd had some, dietary issues too, that I took care of. But just in terms of, it seems like it's gone from level 1 to like level 5 in our society, and just in the smallest amount of time, in under 6 months. So that's why I wanted to bring that up there, because
Like
that
this?
rosacea and all these different kind of leaky guts and autoimmune things just seem to be, I don't know, from my own perspective, like running away in our society here.
So this is an example here where you've got, this is blue light 480, and also they're using 600 nanometer light as well on that. But in other studies, this is a 22-year-old. There's her before and after, and that is over the course of 10 sessions, so 5 weeks. In 5 weeks, it went from that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, sorry for the joke, it's not that funny, but I say that because that's the hard part of these things. So she wouldn't like that. She'd be putting makeup on. Most often that makeup's going to be hurting her. It's blocking her from getting the sun's rays. It's all a vicious cycle. And there she is with her nose back in the way it's supposed to be. And now here's a 68-year-old man with the same issue, 7 years of unsuccessful treatments. And here with a blue and a red light at 480 and 650 plus minus 15 nanometers, which is up to a 665 down to a 635, and that turned that around for this man, which is really awesome. And
now swing that over into the PEMF, comparatively to the same thing with the autoimmune diseases here, then I'm trying to equate these two as they run parallel to each other. Usage and let's say relief.
Exactly. Yes, they are both working for anti-inflammatory pathways. And if the basic way to understand this is just to look at nature. So there's no way to negate one over the other. They're both healing. And if you only had the option of one, it could do the work for you. Say, for example, with sun, if you weren't grounded, just with the sun, you could heal. And same with the earth. Without the sun, you could heal. Over time, if you had no sunlight, there would be some really dramatic issues that would happen in a negative way in your health. But the combination of these is an incredible thing as well. And one of the things I'll share as well, you do have photon lights in a device I'll share with you guys here in a moment, which means that you've got PEMF with red light, which also then combines with far infrared. So you do have the ability to have a combo therapy there as well, which is fantastic. Here's some more examples on how this works with bone density and fracture healing. It's enhancing calcium uptake, stimulating osteoblast activity, promoting collagen production, improving circulation and oxygenation. This one was a study showing 70 women with primary knee osteoarthritis. They got a fake treatment or a real treatment, and it was only 30 minutes. After 7 weeks, the PEMF group showed significantly greater improvements in pain reduction, stiffness, and physical function, and overall recovery, with 73.5% reporting noticeable improvement compared to just 15.6% in the sham group. So placebo, in this case, did account for a very small improvement. And they were having standard physical therapy. Actually, I take that back, because they're having standard physical therapy. What that means is most likely that standard physical therapy accounted for 15% of the group having noticeable improvement, because that was a standard in both groups. Now, which one was better based on this? Was it the physical therapy or was it the PEMF? Which one performed better? Based on, you can't say this for certain, but it's pretty obvious, because one thing that this doesn't assess is what it would be like to have the PEMF without the physical therapy. But it does show you the 15.6% were the group that had physical therapy, but not the PEMF. But it does give you an indication that likely that out of the two, PEMF far outperformed the physical therapy. So really interesting insights there. And it shouldn't be a shock, because you look at bone healing, bone density, You'll see here, it encourages bone-forming cells to grow, improving blood flow, reducing bone loss. In many animal studies, PEMF improved bone strength, density, and healing speed. PEMF helps bones repair, making it a promising option. There's a clinical study on that. Bone fractures here, this was 4.8 months of PEMF therapy, 77.4% showed fracture union, full fracture union, significantly better than the 48.1% success rate in the control group. So you're going to have a decent score within the group that doesn't get PEMF because the body just does this. Here's a good one, David, neutralizing the harmful effects of EMFs. So it's restoring cellular electrical balance, reducing oxidative stress, supporting the nervous system. PEMF for neurological effects caused by EMFs. PEMF therapy has been studied as a support for healing brain injuries. It's working to influence brain chemicals and nerve function, improve symptoms like depression, epilepsy, migraines, and chronic pain. And it's working to do this. It's helping with depression, nerve-related conditions, balancing brain signals, improving neurological health. Here's a clinical study showing this with depression, glioblastomas, even knee osteoarthritis, and then pain post-operative. Really good studies on the immune system as well. And then the other side of this is the far infrared, which is another technology. So we've talked about red light, which is red and near infrared, but not far infrared. Far infrared goes into the thousands of nanometers, where near infrared stops at 1100 nanometers. Then it goes into mid. And if you want to interface with light, it's in that 600 to 1100 nanometer range, but heat goes into the thousands of nanometers, 2, 3, 4,000 nanometers. And that's what this is dealing with. And by doing this, you'll see an arthritis patient, 4 weeks in patients, 4 weeks of infrared sauna sessions twice a week, 30 minutes each, was associated with approximately 40% reduction in joint pain and stiffness. So that's just with the heat therapy, which is amazing. Chronic pain relief, bone health, EMF balance. This is for chronic pain. It eases pain from arthritis, fibromyalgia, and chronic muscle conditions, reducing stiffness, improving mobility. Many people report better sleep, mood, and overall daily function following treatment. Overall, it's considered safe and can be helpful as a complementary therapy. And this is this study here, infrared with autoimmune conditions, DNA cellular repair here. It's activating protective proteins called heat shock proteins that assist in cellular repair. And that's far infrared sauna therapy. And so, David, this is probably a good time to share how people can get this technology if they wish. And again, this is education. So you guys with this knowledge can make whatever decisions you want to make your health better. And here's an example of how to do that with using the right parameters. So this is combining PEMF, infrared heat, and red light therapy all in one device. And it's using an FDA Class 2 certification. Life-changing science-backed technology, multi-therapy in one mat, and it's a portable wellness studio. So here's the different layers. So 13 different layers here within this single device. So you can see the photon layer, you can see the far infrared heating wire layer, and then you've got the PEMF system, and then everything else helps encapsulate that. And here's some of the key things to look at with a PEMF mat. So you're looking for that 1 to 30 hertz range, which is mirroring the Earth's natural electromagnetic rhythm, such as the Schumann resonance. And so this is carefully engineered to stay within this scientific window that's proven. And you can see all the different functions, which you'll see replicated in those studies. But here's an example of a study that's using this frequency that's mirroring how your body naturally signals itself when your joints are moving. During movement or pressure, then these frequencies then send through the body, particularly in those isolated areas like on your joints. But if you could put that same frequency through your whole body, then you could stimulate a lot of healing. So that's why they use this technology to treat people with early stage knee osteoarthritis condition that causes pain, stiffness, and joint damage. Over 9 sessions, 1 hour each, the patients receive treatment without feeling heat, noise, or any discomfort. And this is really cool. So patients who receive
mat then, are they on the full mat then during this time?
To my knowledge, so who received the PEMF treatment saw a significant drop in pain within 1, 3, and 6 months, and the pain relief continued for up to 6 months. So that shows you a structural change that lasts. And then by having a mat, you never go into relapse because your body needs these frequencies. So you can't just depart from the world and expect that everything works. You need to be in proximity to it. But if it was a Band-Aid, then like a pain pill, the pain comes back in 4 hours. It's a Band-Aid. Whereas in this case, well, it's not coming back for 6 months. So without any side effects, which is awesome. Those who got the fake treatment, placebo, didn't get the same benefit, which is amazing. So now here's the millitesla strength. So 150 millitesla is the magnetic field strength. And so the 3-coil design allows that. It's working for deeper penetration of muscles, joints, and tissues, faster pain relief. And here's an example where a study was taking 150 millitesla field strength and putting human stem cells here in it. And what happened is that they continued to grow and thrive over time in both the 80 millitesla and 150, but the 150 group showed a clear trend towards high expression of key factors like collagen, VEGF, which is vascular endothelial growth factor, and bone building proteins. VEGF in particular helps create new blood vessels essential for tissue repair and recovery. So that, I'm not just talking about athletes, I'm talking about everyone that has a body that doesn't want to be in a state of disease needs to be continually creating new blood vessels, and these then get used for tissue repair and recovery of all kinds. And everything needs recovery, and it doesn't matter whether you're working out or not. Your body, your organs, your joints, your tissue, everything needs recovery. So this is great. So it's a deeper stimulating effect here. And then here you've got the far infrared heat in the device, which is the temperature range of 86 degrees Fahrenheit to 158 degrees Fahrenheit. This is rarely seen in consumer mats. It enhances blood flow, amplifies recovery, and delivers full body comfort. It feels as good as it heals. And then this showed here with the infrared heat study with these parameters that the participants experienced quicker rehabilitation, better blood circulation, enhanced functional strength. And together it works in pain relief, improved sleep, and stress reduction, and enhance overall wellness. So there's all the parameters there. And you've got with the irradiance of the lights, then you've got 180 watts of irradiance, which is a nice high delivery of light into the body with 36 individual light sources there. And so here you have the 150 milliwatts here with a high knee pain level test on it with a placebo. It reduced pain from the 10th session onwards with lasting improvements noted at 1 month follow-up. These results confirm the effectiveness of low-level light therapy. And then here you have it here. And the FDA certification is there, which is...
And remember, this can be found at mypemfmat.com, and you can use the code ADAPT25 to save 25% off your order. Remember, we're coming in, I believe that with all my research, that this winter is going to be a barn burner. It is going to get so incredibly chilly. This will be one for the record books. So, with the heat applications, the near infrared applications, far infrared on a combined mat, just how amazing this would be to have in an extremely cold winter, but you'd also get benefits of making your body function better, just feeling that warmth without being chilly and cold all the time. There's a very big difference in the way your energy levels are if you're warm or if you're cold.
Yeah, you got it. That's awesome. That's awesome. And so when you're checking out at mypemfmat.com, MAT1T, then you can use that code ADAPT25. So that shaves off $230 there. And so you're getting it for a really low price. And literally people will spend 10 times that price on a sauna that they may never use because it's sitting in the basement. And it's just out of sight, out of mind. Whereas this one sits in your living room or wherever. Just roll it up, pull it out, jump in it, do that 30-minute session there, 20-minute session, and see the benefits that come into your life by doing that. And then next up, and so you can see all the specifications there. It meets the requirements of the studies, which is important. Otherwise, how do you know it's going to work? So yeah, so the other one there was the $697. You saw that there, ADAPT25, and the 25% off there. And then you've got the $1297 here with the saving of $432. And again, just ADAPT25. As you can see, the magnetic strength is there with the 150 millitesla. You can see the irradiance of the photon lights at 180 watts. You can see the voltage there and the 1 to 30 hertz range with the PEMF frequency. It's got the 3 coils, 1-year warranty, and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So try it for 60 days, see if it works. If it doesn't work, then send it back. That never happens, by the way. But so that's it's up to you. You can get to try this because I just want people to get better. And if I know that you could use this to improve your life, then I want you to have that. I want you to get this. And by the way, you do the math on this. Think about what this will mean using this over the next 10 years. So you're looking at about $5 a session within a single year, but within 10 years, more like 30, 40 cents a session. And then with a family using it, like I'm a family of 4, so we'll all use our devices. And then you quarter that. If you're one partner, you halve it. So for then, 10, 15 cents, 5 cents a session. It's just crazy. You can use these payment systems, like you can do 6, 12, or 24 months payment plans if you need that, or Afterpay, which is international as well. If you're international, you can use this. If you're in America, you can use this. So you can break it up over 6 or 12 months or 4 interest-free payments. So makes it well within reach. And so that's kind of the really exciting part of that. And if you're using any other tools, David, they're going to cost, you're going to have to reorder this bottle of supplements here that somebody gave me for something. This will I'll have to keep reordering this if I like it and it helps me. So just think about things, use your mind and look at what possibilities are there for you when you use the right therapies, and whether it's this or something else, but whatever it is, it needs to be regenerative. It needs to be something that can meet your budget. It needs to be something that will be lasting and something that you can continue to use. So going to get a $20,000 stem cell treatment is a Hail Mary. If it doesn't work and that's all you had, then you're now stuck. See what I'm saying? Versus ordering a PEMF mat and trying it for 60 days, which means you're not stuck. You send it back if you don't like it. And so, and then the people that are advocating these types of things, they're putting their money where their mouth is, right? I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I know that this is going to help you. So I want you to get tools that will help transform your life. And this is a pathway to health.
So think about that. If you can give pain-free or take somebody's pain away, like what kind of gift is that truly? That's, I won't reference books, but going back through time, taking away pain has been written about for thousands of years, and is something that is on the miracle level, basically. And now we have it mixed with the technology of a med bed that sits in front of us with Tesla technologies. So I mean, we're into the world of advanced science and advanced technology now. We've reached that already. So again, why not take advantage of it while it's here and see what it can do for you? And Jonathan Otto right here with me, mypemfmat.com. And again, that code is ADAPT25. Please leave some.
And ADAPT 30 for the bundles. Sorry to make that clear.
Oh, ADAPT 30 for the bundle. How could I forget?
Yeah. So 30% off if you get both. And that's close to $800 in savings. And sorry, David, as you were finishing there, I know we talked about red light, and that is myredlight.com, and then use the code ADAPT at checkout, and that will activate the discounts. You can see some of those bundles come with the PEMF mat and the sauna blanket that comes with your red light. And so there's a massive saving there. So you can get those bundles, and that will activate the huge discount that you can see there, which is great, which gets it all together. Or if you're just really jazzed about doing the PEMF mat and getting to a strong degree, like, so I've got a red light here behind me. I've got the lights on. I pushed this down to about 10% of the power delivery, so I can not blow out my image here. But so you're going to get more by putting this over you and having the PEMF mat under you. But if you're still like excited about the combination of therapy, knowing that you've got some of the red light in there, which is enough to like pulse it through your body. Because just so you know, you can get wrist devices. I don't sell them because I like to cover a larger surface area, and that's what we do with the belts. But if you can get it over a certain area, it will go into your body, and guess what your blood does? It circulates, which means that guess what? It travels through the body. So you really are doing a lot, but just know that they can be combined, and you will exaggerate those benefits in a good way. And then on the other side, you could simply go with the one that is within reach that makes sense to you and get started, and you could expect some incredible results. So yeah, that's it.
Please leave some comments in the comment box below. I'll be happy to answer some questions for you. And if you have any ideas about how this technology is so new and innovative in the combinations of, and where our world's moving to because of all of the much higher tech devices that are at the fingertips of what you consider just the general population now, we're moving at literally light speed here, where it's unthinkable at how fast things are evolving. So I'd like to get your comments, your ideas about that, as well as the benefits of frequency, vibration, and energy, as Tesla had spoken about so highly. So until next time, bye for now.